Safely exit the truck and navigate onto the step. Completely remove the net so that it doesn't get hung up when deploying the hose. Grab the top dog ear, pulling it onto your right shoulder. Once the pack is positioned on your shoulder, turn, grab the left dog ear, and complete deployment of the hose. The hose will pay out behind you as you advance towards the building. The engineer can make sure that the hose is completely deployed from the truck. Navigate the yard till you get about 20 to 25 feet away from the door that you want to make entry into. Drop the pack on the ground, releasing the straps, then grab the hose at the coupling and the nozzle and advance towards the door.
All right, so now we're going to show you how to load the 200-foot jump line on the E1 trucks. When you have the hose load, you want to isolate the 50-foot nozzle section, uncouple it, take it off, separate it, and you're going to take the 150 feet that's left and you're going to find the middle. So we've already marked our middle piece, and then we separate the male side and the female side from the hose load. So you can see here we have the male on one side, the female on the other, and then we have our 50-foot or our 150-foot marker. So we take the female side and we're going to load that one first. We put our marked piece on the end of the basket, and we work together to ensure that we have a nice even load. And you load this all the way up till you get to the coupling on top. Seeing as we have the discharge on top of the truck on the E1, we're able to attach to the discharge easily. We want to make sure when we're loading, all our hose loads are folded evenly and the same. If it looks good, it's going to pull good. So now that we have the female end done, the female coupling sitting on top, it's ready to be coupled into the truck. Now on the male side, we put a dog ear on the bottom of each side so that this load can be pulled either way. We measure the dog ear from the bottom around the basket to the handle. Again, we're making sure our folds are nice and even. Looks good, pulls good. Take the time to do it right. When we're done, we end up with the female side and the male side on top of the load. The female side's obviously going to be coupled to the truck. The male side's going to be coupled into our 50-foot hose bundle that we'll show you how to do next. All right, so for the last section, you can see we took the 50-foot nozzle section and we used the basket to measure how long to make the set. And we just did a flat accordion load back and forth. At the end of the load, we put 2 dog ears, a little bit shorter than the initial dog ear that we put on the load, and then we attach the straps. When we put the straps on, if you have any excess, you can tuck it into the load, and then we want to make sure that we're getting the nozzle securing the nozzle with the strap. That way it doesn't fly around when we're pulling the bundle. We also want to make sure that we leave the female side, the female coupling, out of the strap. That way we're able to attach it easier to the hose. All right, so when we're ready, we can pick the hose load up. They're going to hold it. I'm going to attach the female end to the male. want to make sure that our dog ears are on the same side. Now, when we're ready to load the basket back into the truck, there's a couple of things we want to be aware of. One of them is we want to try to load from the officer's side of the truck. The discharge is on the driver's side of the truck. It makes it a little bit easier for clearance-wise to get the basket into the truck. So when we load it, we also want to make sure that we're tucking the folds. We'll take those out later once we get it in there, but because of the baskets, when we slide it in, it has a tendency to get stuck under the basket. It makes it almost impossible to pull the hose load out. So we want to make sure that we're tucking these hose loads into the stack just while we put the hose onto the truck. All right, so now we're going to pick up the hose. We have the nozzle on the officer's side. This makes it easier with the discharge, but we want to make sure the female discharge is pointed right at the other end of